people all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
I'm in awe over such destruction. It just is horrible here.
Right now at 6, the state of Florida picking up the pieces after yesterday's destruction. What's the latest on the storm? All that and more coming up.
Connecticut residents finally getting the chance to return from Florida after Hurricane Ian trapped them there. Julia LeBlanc is live at Bradley International Airport with the latest on what they're saying.
I was so ashamed in my belief that I had brought this on everybody.
And another week of emotional testimony from the defamation trial against conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. We'll take you into the courtroom to this week's final statements. Good morning. It is Friday. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for being with us here at Fox 61. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning. We are beginning with continuing coverage of Ian, as we've now confirmed at least 10 people have died so far. But really, in many places, the search and rescue efforts are just getting underway. Here's a live look outside here. Myrtle Beach. Do we have it down there on the boardwalk right now? And this is coming as Florida residents, as we said, just beginning the long, slow process of picking up the pieces. But Ian's not done. It's setting its sights on the Georgia and Carolina coast, so we got a lot of team coverage for you this morning.
Yeah, Rachel Piscatelli is in the Weather Center. She's keeping watch. Keith McGilvery is at our storm board. Julia LeBlanc out there at Bradley Airport. Lauren Zenzi in our traffic center with the very latest on the roads and the skies. But we are, of course, beginning this morning with meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli. So Ian, back up to a hurricane.
Yeah, Ian now back up to a hurricane category 1 with sustained wind speeds of just around 85 miles per hour. The latest update just coming in an hour ago with, again, winds at 85 miles per hour, rather, and it is located 145 miles south-southeast of Charleston, South Carolina. The movement north-northeast at 9 miles per hour. So let's take a look at this track here. You'll notice that the cone continues to track closer to Charleston, South Carolina, Georgetown, and Myrtle Beach as we get closer to this afternoon, bringing very heavy rainfall to the area. Portions of Georgia coastline. Right now, though, the winds are out of the north this morning, so that is actually working in their favor for any storm surge. We're going to continue to watch that potential, but the main concern on the table for South Carolina and even well into North Carolina, too, will be the potential for flash flooding with these heavy rainfalls. Rainfall totals upwards of 3 to 4 inches of rain, but we could see localized 12 plus inches of rain in certain areas. So, of course, we're going to keep you posted on that. Numbers this morning certainly chilly. We're ranging anywhere from 3 to 6 degrees cooler than we were just 24 hours or so ago. At 42 degrees in Willimantic, 46 in Hartford. Winds out of the north this morning about 6 to 12 miles per hour. So the next couple of hours will feature more cloud coverage and high temperatures into the 60s. Going to be overall a chilly day. We bring in the chance for some rain as we head towards Saturday. We'll talk about that and the impacts it'll have here locally coming up in just a bit. It is 6:03. Let's keep our team coverage going. Keith McGilvery standing by. Good morning.
Rachel, good morning. You and Sam doing such an excellent job putting this storm into context for us. I am at our touchscreen this morning and want to give you a feel for just some of the imagery we are seeing across Florida. So Will Nunley, he is a reporter with our partners from Fox Weather. If we can take this full, what Will has done is he's put together some of the imagery he has seen really over the course of the last couple of days, describing it as catastrophic here in parts of Cape Coral. And he's describing the search and rescue as very active with grim discoveries being made. But these streets have just been pummeled with all kinds of debris across that community. Now, we talk about this storm, and there's been so much focus on places like Fort Myers and the Tampa area, but we know much of Florida was hit very, very hard because this imagery right here, this is a street. If I zoom this over, this is a street in Orlando where people are using kayaks at this point to get from one place to another. So we obviously saw a number of those cars just pummeled, many of them floating away. I'll take one more shot for you if we have time. Just wrap me up if you need to. This, a mobile home park. And if you just take a moment to just take this imagery in, this is the homes of people who live all across Florida, such a retirement community, such a hub for folks who kind of start a second life down there after careers in other places. And Lauren Zenzi, I mean, torn to sticks and shreds, just one of many, many communities left picking up pieces trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah, Keith, it is just devastating to see all of the images and stuff coming, and we know that you'll continue to monitor this. Now let's localize this here in Connecticut. We're going to talk the airports in just a moment with Julia, but I do want to give you a check out on the roadways right now. We are, oh, I forgot to take my glasses off my head. Sorry about that, everyone. We are following a motorcycle crash out on Route 194. We do actually have a photographer on his way to the scene to get a little more information on this. This is at Route 194, right near Route 5. This is over in South Windsor. This is closed due to a motorcycle crash. Like I said, we do have a crew on their way to the scene. In the Hartford area, things are looking good now. The construction is cleared. 9184 Route 2, all moving smooth as of right now. As we take a live look out in Hartford, I-91 north and southbound, right near Jennings Road, things are looking good at this time. And now over in New Britain, things are moving freely as well in I-84 east and westbound. Not seeing any heavy delays or any sort of backup at this point. Some light volume Bridgeport to Fairfield, but overall nothing to complain about. We see a little bit of stop and go traffic over in Norwalk, but overall things are moving freely right now. Now, as Hurricane Ian strengthens once again to a more powerful storm, we are talking moving out of Florida more into the Carolinas. One thing that we have been monitoring very closely is the skies. So we are joined by Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc, who is live at Bradley International Airport. Julia, just yesterday, no flights were going to and from Florida, but I do see that you do have one update for us. What is that?
Hi, good morning to you. Yes, you're absolutely right. No flights to or from Florida just yesterday, but today there is one flight arriving from Fort Lauderdale. That's expected at 11:52 this morning. You can see that's still on time, but just below that, take a look obviously at Jacksonville. That has been canceled. But as you mentioned, Lauren, now Ian is making its way to the Carolinas and also to Georgia. However, we still have people leaving here from Bradley this morning to Charlotte and to Atlanta. You can see all of those flights at this moment are still on time here at Bradley. Obviously, if you are taking one of those flights or have any loved ones, keep a close eye with your airlines. Now, as we know, this has been pretty much a bit of a guessing game for people taking flights in and out of places in the path of Ian over the last couple of days. And this morning, we are only beginning to see the level of destruction Ian has left in its path. We are learning at least 700 people have been rescued. We know it's probably more than that, and a minimum of 10 people have died. Once again, still waiting on updates on the fatalities. Now, the Category 4 storm, which is what it was when it landed on the southwest corner of Florida, was hovering over that part of the state for just a few hours, but local officials say it'll take months to clean up the damage, maybe even more. Now, as we know, the Carolinas and Georgia are next. That's where Ian has his eyes set on, where it's expected to land as a Category 1 hurricane. Now, the people heading there to Charlotte and to Atlanta from Bradley this morning are definitely worried about the potential for danger at this point. We caught up with a pair of siblings this morning. Here's what they had to say.
Oh man, I felt I was mixed emotions. One, because she was leaving, and two, want to make sure that things were going to really just flow for her versus like she got to be delayed and all this other things like that. So I felt a little, comprehensive right there.
And like for her safety, right?
Absolutely.
Tell me
right.
about that.
Yeah, well, I didn't feel too good about it.
Yeah, we were able to give them a little bit of an update about what Ian is going to be doing. They felt a little bit better knowing that it's going to be more on the coast and then heading inland. However, we do know, obviously, that this storm has not always done what we predicted it would have. The destruction in Florida is incomprehensible at this point, so a lot of people still scared about the potential for flooding. I know meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli said even heading inland in the Carolinas, that is a possibility as well. So everything is still on the line here, and people are still just trying to get out there, get there on time. We know the people we spoke with, their flight is supposed to be landing around 9 o'clock this morning. So we were so happy to meet them, and we hope they get there safely. We will send it back to you guys.
Julia, thanks so much. Of course, we're going to continue tracking Ian all throughout the morning for the very latest on its path, the timing, potential landfall, damage. All you have to do is download the Fox 61 News app. If you don't have it already, easy way, scan the QR code. That's going to help you get to it within just a few seconds.
The Alex Jones trial has been paused until Tuesday, but yesterday was another emotionally charged day in court, like they all seem to be in this case. Sandy Hook father Robbie Parker took the stand and said that conspiracy theorist Alex Jones repeatedly called him an actor. Now, Parker's the father of shooting victim Emily Parker. He was forced to deactivate his daughter's memorial Facebook page due to hateful comments and had to move across the country. But eventually, all that torment, he said, jumped from the virtual world to the real one after a man recognized him on the sidewalk.
He was looking at me and he said, "How do you sleep at night? Emily's alive, isn't she? She's alive, huh?" And I just kept walking and I turned around and I looked at him and finally I just said, "I don't owe you anything."
Court's going to be back in session on Tuesday when Alex Jones again could take the stand. The judge also told the jury that next week will likely be the last week of evidence before they have to decide how much money and damages to pay the families.
And a Fox 61 follow-up for you this morning. An arrest has been made in the attempted robbery and shooting at a mobile gas station. We covered this back in February. 19-year-old Paul Davis of Hartford was taken into custody by police. Police believe he is the man who tried to rob and then shoot a 54-year-old man at this mobile gas station in Manchester. Davis is currently being held on a $750,000 bond. He's set to appear in Manchester Superior Court today. All right, question here. Have you seen this child here? Whatever you're doing, turn around, take a look here. Connecticut State Police have issued a silver alert for 3-year-old Emberly Sinnen, who went missing yesterday in Bristol. Now, she's blonde with brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a purple pajama top and white pajama bottoms. Emberly is believed to be with Joseph Mangan, but police aren't saying how they know each other right now. Mangan is believed to be driving a white Toyota Corolla with Georgia plates. If you see Emberly or Mangan, you are asked to please call Bristol Police.
Police in Hartford are investigating a shooting that happened overnight, right around 3:45 this morning on Capitol Avenue near Rowe Avenue. Police said the victim, a man in his 30s, was taken to the hospital where he is stable this morning. Still no word if police have identified any suspects at this point.